Good morning! It's morning while I'm filming, at least. It might not be morning while you're watching, but it's morning while I'm filming. So regardless, I hope you're having a great day. I am experimenting with using a Hero 4, a GoPro Hero 4 for the first time. So it's something new and different. I hope that it works, but we'll see. The van has felt very cluttered for a very long time now. I think the combination of, having lived in it for 2 years and a couple of months, has, helped me gain a lot of stuff, right? Because even if you're in a house, if you're sitting somewhere long enough, you acquire more things. And even though I'm on the move and my house is very small, I've still acquired a lot of things. You can see behind me that I had an extra a shelf built, and then I have all the shelving on the other side of the van, that you could see very clearly, in my van tour video, etc. It's all filled up. The attic is filled up. I recently went through the attic and got rid of a bunch of stuff. I feel like I'm in a constant, cycle of trying to organize and trying to purge, but I do it, sections at a time, and it doesn't seem to, make a huge bit of difference. And also, having been with Logan for the last year and change, even though he has his own separate van, a lot of our stuff does kind of move between vans, and we spend a lot of time in here. It's a little bit bigger, it's taller, we tend to sleep in here a little bit more often and cook, etc. And his is more of a storage van. And so I think the combination of just being in here for so long and, having Logan also just means that the van has gotten more stuff and it's driving me nuts. And so one thing that I have been wanting to do for a while, but I haven't done yet because it is very overwhelming and very time consuming, would be to, take everything outside of the van, put it all outside, and clean the van, and then put it all back inside. And I think that by, seeing everything that I own and having it outside the van and then having to put it back in, I think that would help me determine what I do and don't need. There's a lot of nooks and crannies and crevices and stuff in here that there's probably stuff in that I don't know, that I don't remember, that I don't need in any case. And maybe taking it all out and looking at it, not in the van, will help. So maybe today is the day for that. It's sunny so far. I think there is some chance of precipitation, but it might be worth the risk. We'll see. Come along. Cab hasn't been fully emptied yet either. How does one van fit so much shit? Everyone always talks about the values, the merits of having a lot of storage, whether it's in a house or in a van. I remember watching HGTV, one of those house hunters shows, and the realtor and the buyers were always oh, look at all the storage, look at all the storage, look at all the storage. And it kind of got to the point in that one episode where the word storage didn't have any meaning anymore because we said it so many times. But then when I started thinking about it again, I was why do we need so much storage? Why do we need so much shit? And this was, in maybe my preteen years. And I just couldn't understand why storage was such a thing. Why do we need so much stuff? And I couldn't really finish the thought process at the time. But even still, having a lot of storage in a van is nice on one hand because I do have a lot of toys. I do have a lot of things I like to keep. These drawers are filled with backpacking stuff and climbing stuff and dog stuff. And I'm not going to get rid of the toys for the things that I enjoy, but also having so much storage allows me to collect all of this shit. And like, I don't know, I like a lot of the stuff that I have. Like, I would say the vast majority of it. But do I really need it all? Probably not. Okay, tea break and then back to cleaning. Got the heater. Got everything on the shelves. I haven't taken out any of the shelves yet. Still got a lot of closet stuff. Got the back seat organizers. And everything in the drawer and in the cabinets. Both of them haven't been emptied yet. And then none of these have been emptied. But look at what a mess it is in here. That all needs to get cleaned up. Alright, so I'm taking a little bit of a snack break. And I have decided not to take everything off of my shelves, but to take everything off of a shelf and put it like either on the cabinet or on the benches down here, and then replace it with, you know, some common sense. So far I have trashed a handful of things, but I have also started a Goodwill bag, which I pretty much always have some kind of Goodwill box bag pile going anyway. So far today it's getting one pair of sneakers because I got some new running shoes recently. So I'm getting rid of my old running shoes, and 2 notebooks, 1 book, one headlamp because I recently got a new one and I don't need 3, but 2 is a good number for a person to have. And it will probably get my old French press, although I'm going to find a box for that and not the bag so it doesn't break because it's glass. But yeah, snack break and thought processing. This is just a small sampling of my mug collection. Okay, small sampling. This is a big sampling, but there are a few mugs in existence that you don't see here. And you might be asking yourself, does one lady, or even if you're going to stretch, does one lady and one dude and one dog really need so many mugs? And the answer is yes. So now that we got that question out of the way, let's put them away. Alright, so these shelves you can see are still, here, let me show you better. These shelves, one of them is fully empty and one of them is starting to have stuff back on it. I have placed a lot of the stuff from the shelf right here on the bench, and I'm going through it piece by piece and deciding what I need to keep. This shelf, I didn't delete too much from it. Like, I only got rid of a couple of things, but there still seems to be like half the space. So I'm starting to refill it with some other stuff, hoping to keep it organized. Yeah, come along. Alright, I've taken down the clothes from the closet and brought in the clothes that I had taken outside. Now, I think... Alright, so this is probably like 99% of my clothes. There might be some out there still in that pile that I did not see when I was bringing it in. I think this is kind of a lot of clothes. My mom thinks this is a very small amount of clothes, which is interesting because that woman was a minimalist before minimalism had a name. And Logan wisely has not really commented on whether he thinks I have a lot of clothes or not. But when I first moved into the van, the majority of my clothes, far more than you can see here, the majority of my clothes fit in these 4 packing cubes, and they are organized by like type of clothes, like undies and bras, workout clothes, like summer stuff, and then winter stuff, so like tank tops and things, longer sleeve t-shirts and things. Oh, and the orange thing in the middle is my socks. So clearly there are some clothes, A, that have never fit, but B, more so than, I have more clothes now than I brought with me originally. The stuff that takes up the most space is a lot of my hand knits, which you can see here. This is just 3 of the sweaters. A number of other sweaters are in that shack pack right there. They take up a lot of space, but I love them and I made them myself. And I really culled down my handmade clothing stash before I moved into the van, and I left all but like one of my sweaters in a box in my folks' basement. And last year I decided, I'm going to keep doing this. I want my handmade sweaters with me, but they do take up a lot of space. So just clothes in general takes up a lot of space, especially in a van. So let's see if I can get rid of anything. This is the not staying pile, which was actually really hard to figure out. Because, I'm at a point where, I do really enjoy all of the clothes that I have, but some of them just don't get worn. And, like this shirt here, I wear it all the time, but I just bought it, last summer, and it's already got a lot of holes in it, and it was not cheap. This is like Prana or something, I was going through a phase where I wanted to try and buy, higher quality things so that I would have to shop less. But then higher quality things are not holding up to my lifestyle. So maybe it's best if I just stick with the Goodwill stuff. Because then it's cheap, and if I tear it up, it's fine. Goodwill bag, trash bag, dog food. Don't get them mixed up. I've been doing this for maybe 4 hours now, and there have been parts of it where I feel, like I'm making progress, but I think overall I don't necessarily feel like I'm making progress. I have found some things to go to Goodwill. My Goodwill bag is pretty full, and I have a box started for more fragile items. And the trash is definitely getting nice and full. So, those should be, visual evidence that I'm getting rid of stuff. And that my house should be tidier. And it is tidier. It's still pretty empty right now. But, I can't help but feel as I'm moving stuff back in, I don't necessarily feel like I got rid of very much. And on the one hand, it's a fucking van, how much can I get rid of? It's going to be small no matter what. And, I don't necessarily have a bunch of stuff I don't need, just by nature of it being a van, and I like all the stuff that I do have. I use all the stuff that I do have, but maybe I like and use too much stuff? Probably not. I'm just being hard on myself. But that's where we're at right now. Maybe my blood sugar's low. Maybe I need a snack. Okay, lunch had. Let's see if I have more energy to tackle the rest of this. So, this pile can't go in until the cushions go in, and the cushions can't go in until the table bed pieces go in, and the table bed pieces can't go in until I decide what goes underneath the bed. I've already got Lisa helping with dishes, but a box and some extra toilet paper under there. Let's see what else I decide to put down there. instead of putting the bed back together, I decided to just leave the table up because I'm going to do some more work today. It's sunny and it's beautiful. Obviously, I still have work to do, but like, you know, desk work that requires the table. So living underneath the table bed as of right now are my hiking boots, a box of some workout material, and some toilet paper. The leg for the table also lives under. I have a leg for the back part of the table as well, but since I use that so rarely, it is tucked in this cabinet here. But this front half of the table gets used all the time, so I like to leave that out where I can get to it more easily. No kisses. Okay, so let's do a little tour of what remains, and then yeah, maybe I'll finish putting shit away. Get the van back in order. Yoga mat and cushions. These cushions can't go back in just yet because the table is up and they go where the table goes. Same with that wooden piece behind the chair that goes to finish the bed. My chair will stay outside, but Buddy, the elephant on it, will come inside. The Huggies need to come inside. Those are extras. So those will probably live under the table bed. Those clips need to come inside. I'll keep them relatively handy. I'll probably just put them in the attic, but I am hoping to use them to rig up more, I don't know, camera angles and stuff, so I'm not just, you know, always using this tiny tripod and a selfie stick. The hot water bottle is definitely coming inside. We use it all the time. We used it last night. It's still going to be chilly here for a few months, so going to keep that. The packaging behind it, I keep packaging so that I can mail stuff and not have to pay for packaging. The clothing over there is Logan's, so I'll find space for that in here, or I'll put it in his van. Dog bowls, water bottle, this oil, and that container is actually pancake mix. That'll go in Logan's van as well. The water will come inside eventually, but it doesn't need to, so it can stay out. And yeah, Lisa's massive dog bed. That's pretty much it. I guess it's more clean than I thought. Oh, I do have a question for you guys. This basket came with my Yeti originally, and I never, ever use it. It doesn't make any sense for me, so I just don't use it. It takes up more space than it allows me to have. I don't use a lot of ice anyway, yada, yada, yada. I want to get rid of it because I don't use it and there's no use for it that I can see. But if I ever sell the Yeti, it will be more resale value if I keep this. So what do you think? Find a place in the van to keep it and hold on to it just in case I sell the Yeti. Or just get the fuck rid of it because I don't need it and it's taking up space. What do you think? Okay, so for a little roundup of what's leaving, trash. This box and the black bag are Goodwill. And then the old dog bed is probably going to go in the trash, because who wants an old dog bed? But proof! Things have happened. Some things have been organized. Some things are leaving my house, and hopefully my house will stay more tidy. I also have... Hey, baby. I also have a collection of things here in my front seat. I kept them in the front seat so that I would remember to take them in my folks' house the next time I visit. Luckily, I am very close to them right now, geographically speaking. And like, this is just, it's basically just my snowboarding boots and like my snowboarding like pants and jacket and goggles and shit. Like, I dropped off my snowboard with them over a year ago, and somehow, I know exactly how, this stuff remained because it was in one of these benches here in the back, and I never look in there, so I forgot that it was in there, and it just stayed, and it doesn't need to be in the van, so we'll just take it back and leave it with the board. So, I guess I did this just in time. I don't know if the camera will pick it up here, but it's snowing now. That weird Colorado blue sky snow. The temperature did drop substantially, so good thing that I started this nice and early and got it mostly wrapped up by now.